Okay, so as you're coming on, click that like. I have a little time today. I want to delve into some topics um, that have been speaking to me out here in these mean streets. Um, Yesterday I was traveling from New York to my now current location. Hey boo, how you doing? So yesterday I was traveling to New York to my now current location. I may not respond to comments at the beginning of the live because there are things that I want to talk about. So once I'm finished talking about the things that I need to process, because that's what the purpose of my lives are for me to process what I'm going through, what I'm feeling, and how it impacts me. And then once I'm done with that, then I will definitely read the comments if there are some available to read. If not, then I will log off and see you next time. Anyway, so yesterday I was traveling. So yesterday I was traveling and who that's why I did not want to eat before I started this live because I really believe that there is drugs in the food because they were standing in hurricane lines, Katrina lines, emergency housing lines yesterday, and I was just like for Chick-fil-A. Like they were standing it was for Chick-fil-A. I'm like, baby, these children is standing in devastatingly long lines to eat Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, it's gotta be some tea with this. Something going on. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they putting in the chicken fat. Hold on. Cause I wanna pull up my notes so I can make sure. Wait a minute, y'all. I'm coming right back. Hey, as you're coming on, make sure you click like if your thumbs allow you to. If your thumbs allow you to, please be sure to click like and support this video. Help me get my message through the algorithm. We're going to talk about a few things today, okay? We're going to talk about a few things. And I'm fixing to copycat off Ramon Wiggins and say, we're about to get into some things. We're going to get into some things, okay? If I'm going to use your shit, I'm going to give you credit for using your shit. Okay, so let me cut this off again now that I done got to it because I don't want this to affect my streaming ability. Okay, so I am back. I had to do that. So now we're about to get into what we're about to talk about. So, the first thing I want to do is tell a story about what happened to me yesterday. So, and this resonates so much with everything that everything that has been going on in my life, and it resonates with what Andre 3000 said in regards to Sexy Red. You know how a lot of people are saying that Sexy Red is an industry plant and just saying so many negative things about her. And Sexy Red, is the first person to admit, her background, the humble beginnings that she came from. And so to other people, it looks like, she's being used as a pawn to exploit black women, to exploit black femininity, to just exploit the whole story. And I love what Andre 3000 said. He said, use the hate is free energy. Like hate is free energy. And I was thinking about that yesterday. So somebody messaged me yesterday and they messaged me yesterday. A couple of people had messaged me and um where I am not like right now, the space that I'm in is like I want to trust people. Like I'm trying to get back in this season of trusting, like really legit, like not letting my trauma, not letting past situations keep me from being able to trust. Because if you can't trust people, then you can't love. There can be no to me, you can't have that love, that quality of love that you want if you're not willing to trust people. If you're not willing to trust, if you're not willing to let anybody in, then how can you receive that next level of love? You can't be afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to be hurt. You know, you do have to make sure that you're using your discernment and paying attention to yourself and paying attention to what's going on inside of you so that you won't let everybody take you for a ride. And you'll also be paying attention to, okay, this is where I get off. This is my stop. I'm not going to keep on riding. At this point, this is not my stop. You're not going in the direction I want to go, but this is close enough to where I was trying to get. So you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get off right here. So anyway, this guy reached out to me who said that he was a Christian, and he said, you know, he had been watching my content, my profile, and he said that he wanted to be a blessing to me. So he offered to send me some money to pay expenses. Now, you know, people on Instagram will jump in your inbox and they will offer you money. They will tell you they're gonna give you some money and they'll ask you for your Cash App information and they'll end up taking money out of your account. But this wasn't the Cash App thing. This was a different scenario. He asked me to get a vanilla gift card and he said he was going to load the money to my vanilla gift card. So I went on his profile and was reading his content and, you know, seemed like he was a legitimate person, seemed like he was being authentic. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith and I'm going to go and get a vanilla gift card. Now, when I went and got the vanilla gift card, something was saying, "Well, what if this is a scam and you done went and got that vanilla gift card?" I said, I just have faith that something gonna manifest for me today. Something. This is what I told myself as I was going to get the vanilla gift card. Something's gonna manifest for me today. So I went to get the vanilla gift card, and this crazy because he asked me how much I needed, and I said $500, and he offered 2,000. But what I said I needed was $500. So I said, but if you want to give me more, you can. So I get the card, I come back, and when I get back to the house, I message him and I say I got the card. So red flags was coming up, but I'm still, you know, I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to give people a chance. I'm trying to trust people. I'm trying not to just have a, you know, distrusting spirit. I don't want to be set up like that. I don't want to be afraid to fail. I don't want to be afraid to lose. I don't want to be afraid to take chances. That's not my ministry. That's not who I want to be. So I put $20 on the card. He asked me, he said, okay, send me a picture of the card, show me the front and the back of the card. Then he said, then he asked me how much did I put on the card. He said when he asked me how much I put on the card, that was when the system shut down and I knew he was conning me, because why do you need to know how much money I put on the card if you're trying to send me some money? You don't need to know what the balance is. So that's when it dawned up for me that you wanted to know the balance so you could know how much you could take off the card. So before I blocked him, I said, you should be ashamed of yourself pretending to be a blessing to other people on your page, talking about Jesus this and Jesus that and Jesus this and Jesus that, and you should be ashamed of yourself in people's inbox, not knowing what their financial situation is, preying on them to take money from them, and they're trusting you, and you're using this whole Jesus thing and this whole Christian thing to pretend like you're trying to be a blessing to people. We going somewhere. Y'all gonna get to in a minute why I titled this video, Protect the Black Woman in Jesus' Name. Y'all know I gotta tell a whole bunch of stories before I get to the point. That's just my process. Bear with me. Bear with me. We're going somewhere. So anyway, I get to the airport, messing around with him. I didn't check in at the right time. So the flight was oversold. So I had to wait 4 hours for another flight. But let me tell you how my ancestors set up. Let me tell you how God got us work. Let me tell you how God got us work. So they gave me another flight. They paid for my flight. Shout out to American Airlines. Paid for me another flight. I end up making it in just an hour later than I would have made it in had I caught my original flight. And they gave me a credit card with how much on it? The $500. The $500 that I asked this man for originally. So the moral of that story is sometimes people are putting you in a position to be blessed. Sometimes people are putting you, don't look at someone who's trying to get over on you and scam you and be upset with them and give your energy to that, because your ancestors, your creator may be positioning you to be blessed, may be positioning you for your blessing. If I would not have been fooling around trying to go and get that card, that vanilla card, I would have had already checked in. I would have made it to the airport earlier, and I probably wouldn't have got them coins. So he was being used. He was a pawn in a greater game. A man, a woman. He was a pawn in a greater game. And he was positioning me to get the blessing that was meant for me. Can I say that? So anyway, yeah, so that was the story that I wanted to tell about what happened yesterday with the scamionities. So moving on to my next story that I want to cover in this live, I want to talk about indigenous people. The title of this video is "Protect the Black Woman in Jesus' Name." We're getting to that. That's the meat of the talk today. But there's a few things that I wanted to talk about before I get into that. So I want to talk about being indigenous because someone came on my page the other day and they saw my hair like this and they saw my nose, because I have a wide nose, I have full lips, and I have kinky hair. So when we say that we're indigenous or when we say we're aborigine, a lot of light skinned beings with the long black wavy hair or the short black straight wavy hair, the more fairer skinned beings, they tend to feel like, oh, we're trying to co-opt their culture, oh, we're stealing from them, oh, oh, you're not really Indian. So one of those beings that looked like that came on my page yesterday and they saw my hashtags, and I always hashtag Black Indigenous. I always hashtag Aborigine, Indigenous. I use hashtags like that. And the purpose of me using those hashtags is to remind me that I am not simply from Africa, nor am I simply from Turtle Island, but I am indigenous to not only the planet, I am indigenous to multiple parts of the planet. I am indigenous to the universe, the cosmos. I am aborigine. I am born of that entity that birthed it all. And so when I use terminology like that, I am not saying for a specific place. I'm not saying that I am indigenous to any specific place. I am acknowledging that I am connected to source. I am acknowledging that I am native to source. And that goes over a lot of people's heads. I saw Tasha K talking the other day about how she's happy that her children are married to an African man and they can, her children come from a union with an African man. And while I celebrate her for that, and I celebrate her for doing what she felt she needed to do to give her children a sense of heritage, a sense of history, a knowledge of their past, being able to pinpoint some places in their DNA where they come from, being able to pinpoint some of the things within their DNA. I celebrate her for that, but I want to be clear. Our ancestors are older than that. Our ancestors are older than that. Whatever the land mass was before Africa, we were there too. We've walked this earth for tens and tens of thousands of years, and they were calling it different names then. We've evolved as a species on this planet. So, in order not to get caught up in, oh, this what tribe you from, this what tribe, that was then, this is now. I'm not going to argue with you about what tribe I'm from. I'm from everywhere. I'm from everywhere. It's all in me. It all exists in my DNA. I'm not going to argue with you about where I'm from. When I say I'm Aborigine, I say I'm Aborigine. When I say that I'm indigenous, I mean I'm indigenous. It's all in me, like Whitney Houston said. I'm not going to argue with you about that. I got ancestors that look like everybody. If I show you, if I could put and take a scrapbook and set it before you and show you what my great grandmothers look like, what my grandmothers look like, what my grandfathers look like, they don't all look the same. They don't all look the same. Now, I ain't gonna lie, some of them do resemble each other. Yeah, right. Period. 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 It's all in me. That's the moral of that story. So when now I understand that it's important for some of y'all to be able to say exactly you want to be able to pinpoint your origin, which you will never be able to do. Because then they have ancestors. And then their ancestors have ancestors. And then their ancestors have ancestors. So rather than going down that rabbit hole with y'all, I'm not a person who feels like I have no heritage. I have no culture. I don't know where I come from. I don't subscribe to that narrative anymore. The reason why black people can't come together, the reason why it looks like us that black people can't come together, if we want to keep it real, is because we are the most diverse humans on the planet. We literally exist in damn near every culture, every society, every community, every nation, every tribe. We exist everywhere. Just because our skin is this color, it doesn't mean that we all grew up the same way. We were all taught the same way. We all have the same culture. There's so many. We are the most diverse on the planet. We are everywhere in everything. That's why when y'all say, oh, we can't, why black people won't come, why black people can't come together? We are together. We just so many different things. It's hard to put it into words. We are together. But black people can be Republicans, they can be Democrats, they can be Christian, they can be Wicca, they could be voodoo, they could be like we could be so many different things, and all of it is authentic. All of it is true. All of it is honest. All of it is legitimate. Black people are not a monolith. That's exactly correct. You can't put us all in one box. And this is what gatekeeping oppressors do. They try to create this monolithic black person through constantly feeding us this narrative about our ancestors who died who died for our rights to vote. Not willing to have a conversation about the ancestors who died because they didn't want to participate in this shit. And one of my sisters said this the other day, and I have the utmost respect for her, and I love her, but I have to offer some pushback. When you tell me if I don't vote, I gotta shut up. When you say, because our ancestors did used to say that, they'll say, if you're not gonna vote, then shut up. You don't have no right to talk about the election. I know you lying. I still gotta follow the Constitution. I still gotta obey the law. I still gotta pay taxes. As long as if I don't play, if as long as I could get arrested for not following the law, long as I gotta uh, 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 do some type of work or some type of to be able to make ends meet, long as I gotta pay for a gallon of water, long as I gotta pay for a loaf of bread, long as I gotta pay for parking, I'm gonna run my mouth whether I vote or not. Fuck you mean? Whether I vote or not, I'm gonna pop my. What you mean? Because what they fail to realize is, just because a person doesn't vote, that don't mean that when the stuff hit the fan, when it get real, when it's time for war, when it's time to put your body on the line, when it's time to march, when it's time to fight, when it's time to stand up for family, just because I don't want to participate in that process, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to stand up for who I love. It doesn't mean that I'm not willing to put my body on the line and I'm not willing to sacrifice for my loved ones. It just means that miss me with that. Y'all want that. Y'all want to do that. That's what y'all want. They tell us every year that things are going to get better. Then you have people that are gerrymandering, changing the lines of how people, they love saying people not getting out to the polls, people not getting out to the polls. But in those times when people have gotten out to the polls, it still got us back here. The whole political process is crazy because it's like you have to constantly fight to keep things the same. What was the Constitution about if we have to constantly keep fighting to keep things the same? What was the Constitution about if every time you look around, our freedoms are in danger, our liberties are in danger? What was all this legislation about if our freedoms and our liberation and all of that is constantly in danger? We constantly got to run to the polls. We constantly got to show up at the polls. We constantly got to vote. Hey, I am that I am. What happened? What's going on? We don't know who to trust. We don't know who to believe in. We don't like the politicians that we have to choose from. They're not even connected to the people. They don't care about the people. What the politicians care about is the machine. And if you are not driving that machine, if you are not driving the machine, they don't care about you. You get out there and work and they're going to give you a speech and kiss some babies and tell you that your vote matter and tell you how important you is. And then at the end of the day, as soon as they get in office, guess who they're going to be beholden to? Those corporations. Because half of the people that's getting elected into politics have been sheltered their whole life. They don't know what real struggle is. They haven't been exposed to real struggle. They've been sheltered and groomed to pretend to see you, but in actuality not to see you. They've been groomed. They learn how to give a speech. They learn how to give a speech that says we care and that you matter and to tell the people what they want. And as soon as they get in that office, they're beholding to the people that are gonna give them money, that's gonna make sure that they good, that's gonna make sure that their lifestyles can continue. And we supposed to run to the vote. We supposed to run to the polls to vote for that. Then all of the tricks that they do to keep you from voting and to distort your vote and how they be stealing votes and all this type of stuff. Voting should be in the Olympics. At this point, voting should be in the Olympics at this point. Bitch, you should get a gold medal for voting at this point. Now, what else I had on my list? I ain't gonna stay on that nerve for too long. But they'll be telling you the people who died for our right to vote. What about the people who died because they didn't want to participate in this? What about our ancestors who was like, nah, that's some bullshit. I don't want to participate in that. And they fought and died. What about them? We gonna talk about them? Are we gonna hold space for them? Are we gonna continue to talk about the same black people trying to carve out this monolith, trying to carve out this monolithic black race? Cut it out. Cut it out. Knock it off. So make sure y'all click the like button. Make sure y'all click the like button. Wait, trusting people. Yeah, yeah. So now I want to get to oh yeah, so while I'm on that, I want to ad lib on. I don't know if y'all been watching Sausage, if any of y'all seen Sausage Party the movie, but Sausage Party the movie has recently created a series, and in the series, this new season that came out is predicting Donald Trump as the winner. Child, they literally have an orange that's taking over. So I don't know if y'all seen that, but I don't know if Sausage the series is on Prime now. I think it's on Prime, Amazon Prime. And the series then came out. And child, when I tell you not to give away too much of the story, but baby, they got an orange on there, and you know every time they say the orange, you know who they're referencing. So, child, I think a lot of this is just performative. I think a lot of it's a performance. I think a lot of this is just entertainment. It's hard for me to really get into politics because at this point, I'm questioning, are these people actually really people? Is all of this AI? Are these clones? What's going on? Like at this point, like is it AI? Is it clones? What's going on? Like what are we watching? What is happening right now? Because you know people have made comments that they seen Joe Biden going meltdown, beep beep pop pop poop. Like people have seen him do the beep beep pop pop poop. Yeah, and I done want a taco, but it Heineken, our ancestors who don't vote were major contributors and inventors. See that? Now, see, I'm glad somebody said that. Like, we all show up in different ways. Like, and this is the thing that we have to understand before I move on to the main part of the topic. We all have to understand this. The Matrix, society, and this is why I think this is why I chose to be trans in this life. I think this is why I chose to be a trans person. I'm understanding now in the time that we're moving in. Because if I would not have been trans, if I would have been born male and I would have been happy with being male and I would have identified with the man, being a man and going into that role, Or if I would have been born with a vagina and I would have been happy as with the vagina and would have assimilated into a female role, I wouldn't need to live in the matrix. The matrix wouldn't have any value to me. I'd be living off the grid, growing fruits and vegetables. Me and my partner would be living off the grid. We wouldn't give a fuck about what y'all was doing. We'd be living in the woods, minding our business with the animals in nature. We wouldn't care about none of this. Do you see this? Sun kissed. I absorb sunlight. My hair gets signals. I'm communicating with the sun and the ancestors. I wouldn't be a part of this. So me being trans set me on a path to become HIV positive, to have to take massive medicine up on the plantation, have to get surgeries to feel like who I said I am. So I had to participate in this matrix because I'm trans. Because of how old I was when I did it. Everything is about timing. Everything is about timing. Because if I had been born trans now, we trying to get it to where, a lot of these babies don't feel like they need to go and cut on themselves and don't feel like they need to go and do that. But the time in which I was born at the end of the 70s, 77. I was born in a time and our minds were being programmed to understand the world in a certain way. And in order for me to navigate that and feel comfortable in my body, I had to participate in the matrix. I had to participate. They started testing me for HIV when I was 14 years old because I was queer. I was plugged into the matrix young. Now, mind you, had I been a heterosexual male or had I been a heterosexual female and had I not been queer, I wouldn't be participating in. Why would I legit, a lot of black people, a lot of ebony people, a lot of Negro people who know how to take care of themselves, who know how to farm, who understand herbs, who understand the science, agricultural science. What do they need to fool around in the matrix for? When you can grow your own fruits and vegetables, when you can raise your own livestock, when you don't need to call nobody because all your family live right here. All your family live around you. They ain't moved away. All of y'all live in the same neighborhood. So-and-so know how to sew clothes. So-and-so know how to make shoes. So-and-so know how to do hair, braid, what not have you. Everything we need, we already got it. So what we need from the matrix? Ain't nobody sick. We eating off the land. Ain't nobody, we ain't eating the junk food. We ain't eating the processed food. We ain't in the matrix. We living off the grid. We loving on each other. We drinking fresh water. We taking care of ourselves. What do we need the matrix for? That's the mentality of a lot of black people. That's the mentality of a lot of black people. So what you have to understand is, and I'm not saying that everybody that don't vote is like this. Some people just don't vote because they went to prison or they just disenchanted and they don't believe in the system. But a lot of black people don't participate in this because they're not a part of it. They're not a part of it. But you have to understand that other species that have been, other races that have been crafted from our DNA, that have been pulled from our DNA, they need the system. They need the healthcare system. They need all of these things. And so the reason why a lot of us don't be serious about being invested in it is because we know if the shit really ever got real, something within us innately is gonna click. And either we're going to transition to go be of aid on the other side, or we're going to go into battle mode. Things just going to start clicking. We be here for a lot of us be here for the shenanigans. If we just go ahead and keep it real. We be here for it. We be bored. Give me an adventure. Put Donald Trump in office. Let's see what the wall look like. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Right? But a lot of us be like that. Chill. Put that orange peel in office, and let's see what this motherfucking wall look like. Let me stop. It's we be here for the shenanigans. We be wanting the entertainment. And we'll put up a speech like we really so concerned and like we really so scared and like we really so devastated. Child, please. But yeah, so I wanted to touch on that because I know a lot of people who live in small country towns. That was the blessing for me. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, but I was raised in Bogalusa, Louisiana. The population was 16,000 when I was growing up, so I went from a metropolitan city to a small country town. I was able to see how things were, and this is the crazy part. When I was in New Orleans as a child, I was in spaces that were still segregated. You never saw a white person in the methamphetamine projects. Like literally, it was like being in Africa. In certain parts of Africa, you never saw white people in the methamphetamine projects. Never. You never saw white people in that area. And so before Katrina, there were parts of New Orleans that were still segregated. Like black people were around black people and they didn't see white people until they went into a different part of town. And that's how Africa was. Africa is very much like that. You can go when I was in Africa for them 9 months during COVID, because I went there um the last day of December in 2019, and I was there until September of 2020. When COVID happened, they put us on lockdown in April, and for 30 days, I did not see a Caucasian person. I didn't even see a light-skinned person with curly hair. Everybody, if they was light-skinned, they had the same kind of hair I got, or they had that wide nose and them full lips. But everybody, it was Negro. It was Ebanoid. For 30 days, I did not see a Caucasian person or a person that looked biracial. And that's how it used to be in the projects when I was little. But imagine going from that to Bogalusa, which was a small country town, and you can't go to the grocery store or go to anything that has anything in it that you could actually use without seeing white people. Like you might could go and get you a little hamburger or something like that from the little old lady, Miss Joe, who used to make hamburgers. You might could get you a snowball or some candy or go to the candy lady. But if you was really trying to go to an actual grocery store, an actual movie theater, you had to see white people. Because it was made with them in mind. School, everything. Now, the kicks thing about New Orleans is the schools will be all black, but they'll let white people teach at the schools. I ain't never had no respect for that. I don't think white people should be teaching at all black schools. And that's not me being racist. That's just me not understanding that. Can a black person teach at an all-white school? I ain't gonna never understand white people teaching at an all-black school. You never gonna make me understand it. It's never gonna make sense to me. Never gonna make sense. Okay. So now I want to get into um I gotta say this name. And when I say this person name, I've been on the live for 41 minutes. And the reason why I'm about to bring their name up is because right now it is a lot of division swirling around in the community, a lot of propaganda. I watched this guy, I think he's a gay man, I'm not sure, but his name is Just a Superstar Carter. And also I heard ATLian talk about TS Madison and how TS Madison has been coming for Tasha K. So I listened to ATLian's perspective and I listened to Just the Superstar's perspective. And that's what made me want to talk about protecting the black woman. That's what inspired this portion of the conversation that we're about to have. I'm not fixing to pretend like I know what's going on in T.S. Madison mind because I don't. I don't have a clue. I don't know what T.S. Madison's intentions are. Um, I just don't. I used to think I knew. I used to think I understood, but I don't. At this point, I don't know what her agenda is other than making her coin and getting her bag. But I I'm not gonna pretend like I know what her intentions are at this point. I don't feel bad for talking about her at this point because in a recent interview she did on the Conscious Network, she made it a point to say whether you are a man or a woman or you have your nuts folded up inside of you. And I knew she was talking about me when she said that because she's never said anything negative about any other girl that was post-op. So whenever she say the nuts folded up inside of you thing, I knew that was a jab at me. So, she's still taking jabs at me. And that's fine. I put myself out here on the internet. We put ourselves in a public space. I don't consider myself a public figure, but I know that I live very publicly, and so that comes with the territory. People are gonna have things to say about me because I live in the public. I put so much of my information out on the internet to be scrutinized, to be critiqued, to have people give their opinions. So, but with that being said, I don't feel a way when I speak about you. And I don't feel a way when I speak about these people in general because I know that their livelihood has come from speaking on other people. So ATLian and Justice Superstar Carter was, he was misgendering T.S. Madison. He kept calling T.S. Madison he, and he was like, when it comes to the black woman, I lose all. I don't have any respect for that. I'm coming out the closet and I don't care if I lose friends and I'm not invited to certain places. The black woman shows up for us. The black woman is always supporting us. And so, we need to support the black woman. So he had me all the way like there. I watched about the first 10, 15 minutes of the video. And then in his attempt to show his loyalty to black women, what he did was diminish trans women. And what I don't like is just because of how T.S. Madison is moving, don't use that to disrespect the whole community. Send your bullet directly to T.S. Madison. Talk about T.S. Madison. Keep it on T.S. Madison. Stop generalizing. If a certain girl is doing something that you don't like or something that you don't respect, don't use that as an opportunity to take digs at the whole trans community because now you're being messy. The message is diluted because you're just being messy now, because you're not sending it, you're generalizing and you're not sending it. It's not as effective as it could be because it's almost like it's saying that I will respect you trans people if you know your place. if you know how to speak, if you know when it's okay. I will respect you, but at the end of the day, this is how I really feel. So I think he used TS Madison as an opportunity to say how he really felt about trans people with his whole chest. And you don't have to use T.S. Madison to say how you feel about trans people. If that's how you feel about trans people, then say that's how you feel about trans people. But don't try to I had such a beautiful experience the other day. I was arguing with another one of my sisters who is also a sex change, and we're very close. And I was arguing with my sister, and my blood pressure was high. Like, we was going backwards and forwards. We was in a heated debate. And while me and her was arguing, two black women who we knew was born with wombs, they were born with vaginas. I was walking with my daughter. Me and my daughter both sex changes. Me and my daughter both laid on the table. We had to take a nap and woke up in pain. But the two beings that walked past us, it was obvious that both of them had been born with vaginas, and they were embracing that, and they were living as women. They were embracing womanhood. It was two dark-skinned, deeply melanated sisters, and they walked past us. And one of them said, and they looked at us, and I was heated, like I'm arguing over the phone, like I'm texting backwards and forwards, arguing. And they looked at us and told us we was beautiful, told us how good we look. It wasn't no, you look beautiful for a trans person. You look beautiful, but we know. It wasn't no, you look beautiful, but wink, wink. It was sincerely, I see you. I see you. And one of them had a phoenix tattooed on her arm. And she said, she told me, she said, you're a phoenix. You're a phoenix. And my daughter said, that's one of her names. That's one of her names. She called herself Phoenix. And we connected in that moment. And we was just like, and I was like, beautiful goddess. I was like, thank you, goddesses. Thank you, goddesses. And they was like, y'all look beautiful. Keep shining. Keep being a light. And we just had that whole moment. And I just love those moments when I'm out and about and a beautiful black woman, a beautiful sister, a beautiful ebony being, a beautiful being, feminine being who was born, you know what I'm saying, that identifies with the construct of womanhood. I love when they say beautiful things to me, and I could say beautiful things to them. And it helps me not to get caught up in all of this stuff that's happening on the internet with this propaganda and this agenda to keep us divided. But in real life, my exchange with deeply melanated, beautiful women, with my sisters is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's not that. It's not that. So we have to be careful not to get caught up in what's going on the internet. Enoch, I love you to death, but if we do vote, we still gonna face it. We still gonna face it, because if it's an agenda that they're trying to prove, like, I want people to get out there and vote. If it's in your heart to do, please vote. Please get out there and do what you feel like you need to do. I am not against voting. I am not saying don't vote. Please don't get this confused. I am not telling you not to get out there and vote. I'm telling you to be prepared for your consequences, whatever choice you make. Do not think that voting will somehow absolve you of what can potentially come. Be prepared. Regardless as to whether you vote or not, be prepared. I learned that in the Boy Scouts. Be prepared. Be prepared. Whether you vote or not, be prepared. That's the important thing. That's the bottom line of any message that I will ever give. Stand by your choices, 10 toes down, and be prepared. Prepare yourself. Get your affairs in order. Prepare yourself. Be prepared. Be vigilant. Be prepared. And it changed my that's a lie, you kicks. All right. it changed my whole perception of it changed my whole perception of it shifted my energy. It shifted my energy. And so, ATLian, she says, the black woman is not protected. And I don't see it that way. Cause I mean, I think that the black woman is not as protected as she should be. And I'm gonna say this, and a lot of y'all might not agree with this. If the black woman is being a bully, we need to sit down and have the black woman, the white woman, the Chinese woman, the Mexican woman, whatever kind of woman you is. If you are being a bully, people should be able to call you out. People should be able to tell you, hey, I don't understand why TS Madison, and I've said this before, I don't understand why she gets so upset, because she's adopted the language of saying you're a real woman, I'm not a real woman, you can't compete where you can't compare. And this is where I beg to differ, because if TS Madison is a blogger, she's a blogger, she talks about what's going on in the world, she talks about society. So does Tasha K. You can compare them in that regard. Now, can you compare them as women? Probably not. But to try to make it like they are so different that you can't compare T.S. Madison's form of storytelling or T.S. Madison's form of commentary to Tasha K's form of commentary is ridiculous. It's absurd to say that you cannot compare them because T.S. Madison was born male. That's ridiculous. That's like saying if you go somewhere to get your hair done, if a man did your hair and a woman did your hair, you can't compare. That's absurd. That's like saying if your daddy cook you breakfast and your mom cook you breakfast, you can't compare. Cause a man cook your breakfast and a woman cook your breakfast. What? That's ridiculous. So some things can be compared. No matter what your gender is, no matter what your sex is, some things can be compared. So to say you can't compete where you can't compare for everything, that's crazy. But Madison has adopted this language of calling herself a fag, calling herself, saying she's not saying that she's not a woman. Saying, I mean, like, and so for me, I just don't understand why it's all the outrage and why so many. I don't even understand why so many gay men um be creating videos and making it actual news when somebody misgenders T.S. Madison, when T.S. Madison actually misgenders herself. Like, why is it a big thing for anybody at this point? That's the thing that I don't understand. And because someone misgenders you and you misgender yourself, because someone misgenders you, how can you get mad enough to talk about someone's children? And I said this before in a past video. You shouldn't talk, I don't think you should talk about people who can't defend themselves. If a person is not, if you can't pass the mic to that child and let them children say what they want to say about T.S. Madison, and this is me using T.S. Madison as an example. Nobody should talk about someone who cannot defend themselves. I don't have respect for that. If the children are not going to be allowed to get off what they need to get off and say what they need to get and get off what they need to say, then like if the children can't express how they feel, if they can't get on live and read T.S. Madison, then T.S. Madison, this is my opinion, she should not be talking about her children. And I've said this before. But I can say this without calling T.S. Madison a man, even though she calls herself one. I could say this without calling her a nigger, even though she calls herself one. I could say this without calling her a bunch of he's, even though she calls herself one. I'm going to respect her because that is the culture of our community. I know that some of my sisters will be mad at me who are watching me and supporting me, and they would be mad at me for disrespecting her, even though she disrespects herself regularly. But you can't expect for cis heterosexual people to do that. But you can expect for gay men to know better. Yeah, it is kind of scary. It's kind of scary to think that there's no comparison between male and female. Mm, I think Craig was using her. Mm, but yeah, so basically, like, I just want us to not get caught up in the bullshit. Everything that's going on in this world, like, we have to realize that at the end of the day, we all still in community together. Love your beautiful experience with embracing womanhood and recognizing your beauty. Mm. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not fixing to like hold y'all hostage today. I did want to get into that, like when we talk about protecting the black woman, and um when we talk about protecting the black woman, we have to, like this is my prayer for black women, is that you will you will continue to show up for us and love us and not get caught up in this propaganda. And when you see people speaking disrespectfully towards trans people, towards gay people, even if it is in your name, don't just sit back and chuckle and kiki, because you know that's not how all of us are. If you see a gay man going in for you, he reading for you, he's defending you, but he's putting someone else down that's also in your community, that's also a part of your family, in order to lift you up, call him out on that shit. Don't just let them make it because they celebrating you. That's not right. That's not right. Some of us go through hell in order for this, and some of us ain't finished going through it. Some of us still going through things in order to feel more comfortable in our bodies and in order to feel more connected to our foremothers. Don't let nobody don't let your sons and your brothers and your uncles and these males who identify with the construct of manhood around you, don't let them tear us down, all of us down, while they're trying to defend you. It's a way to do that respectfully. And that's the thing that I wanted to say about ATLian. Like I understand ATLian's views. I respect her for being honest and talking about how she feels, but you do not have to tear us down. You do not have to tear trans femmes down, trans women down. You do not have to tear us down in order to validate womanhood, in order to validate the struggle of black women. You don't have to do that. TS Madison is her own entity. That's her own force. She is speaking for herself. She said it multiple times. She said she did not want to be an advocate. She did not want to speak for the community. She said that. She said that out her own mouth. So stop making her that. Stop making her the end all be all. Now, I got one more thing, then I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to talk about this whole in Jesus' name. And some of y'all, I know I got some Christians on here, but we're gonna have We're going to have a moment. Now, a lot of people who I see on this internet, and I'm about to bring it home with this one. A lot of people who I see on this internet, y'all identify as Christians. Y'all identify as Christians. And many times y'all be the main ones that be religiously nailing people to the cross for lovingly speaking the truth to you. Jesus told them tax collectors about themselves. Jesus told the wealthy people, if you want to follow me, it'll be easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than for you to follow me with all this stuff you got. Jesus was always somewhere lovingly correcting people and playing the whole tape for people. And this is why they persecuted Jesus. This is why they murdered Jesus. This is why they nailed Jesus to the cross. It was people who could not take the truth. It was people that were not ready to hear the truth. It was people who was not ready to play the whole tape that nailed Jesus to the cross, that persecuted Jesus. And so when I see you Christians out here in these streets, when I see you Christians out here in the streets talking about in Jesus' name, after you just finished dragging somebody for having a different opinion than you and being bold enough to say it out loud. They weren't disrespecting you. They didn't say that. They thoughtfully called you in and said, hey, that's not what happened. That's not how it went. I think we missing part of the story. How dare you call yourself a Christian when you know that they nailed this being to a cross? Forced him to suffer. How could you be out here jugging people in the side, stabbing people, poking people in the side, poking people up, shaking people up, then had the audacity to call yourself a Christian, but you constantly out here nailing folks to crosses with your tongue, persecuting people with your tongue. The tongue is a sword that speak the word, and the word cut both ways. Sound like you just want to hear your way. Sound like you don't want to hear the other way. And if you have to hear the other way, you want to make me a op. But baby, opportunity is in the word opportunity. So perhaps your op is just creating an opportunity for you to evolve, for you to grow, for you to move differently. Stop looking at your ops negatively, baby. Because, baby, at the base, what's at the base of the word opportunity? Op. Your op provide opportunity, boo. Yeah. Now, I think that might have been all. I think I might have touched over everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah. Yeah. I think I did. I think I got, yeah. I think that, yeah. Yeah, I think I touched over everything. I thought this was gonna take longer for me to talk about. I see people as people, period, all imperfect, none above reproach. Amen, amen. I'm a spiritual being. I see people first. I love them for the energy they give and the person they are. Amen, amen. Okay. Quiet as kept. This goes deeper than TS. Some ladies' auras transcend, transition, while some stay stuck. And it does. TS Madison, I bring TS Madison name up because she is such a visible example to dissect and to talk about. Like, as an intellectual person who likes to have conversations, like she puts so much of herself in the public eye. It's hard not to have an opinion about her if you're paying attention to her content. And so, because other people are always saying things about her, I think my commentary about her is actually refreshing because I don't just eat her up. Like other people, they literally they eat her up. People do not talk positively about her. They eat her up. They drag her. They misgender her, call her out, call her old name, talk about her body. They drag her. And so I always felt that my commentary at least provided, like, I can see why people are saying these things. I can see why people are giving what they, and so I've offered critiques and commentary, and hopefully it will reach her ear, and maybe she could take some of what I'm saying into consideration, and maybe she could use it to move a little differently, or maybe beings who are modeling themselves after her could benefit from the commentary that I put out about her. But it's never been to tear her down. It's never been, because if that's what it was about, I would have been much more cutthroat and I would have been much more relentless. As big as TS Madison platform is, if I got on the internet and just drug her, and just focused on her and just talked about her, and every video I did, I put her name in the title and put her picture on the phone and put her picture in the cover and just drug her from the beginning, would have just kept dragging her, ma'am, I don't think she would have been as big as what she is now. If I was trying to destroy you, if I was trying to tear you down, and it was really just a hate campaign, I don't think you would have had all these accomplishments. Beyonce and RuPaul, like if I was really on a hate trail, no, every now and then I come out with a sincere, like, okay, girl, you're getting big. Your brand getting big, girl. Everybody looking at you. Please don't let us down. Don't crash and burn. Let me say this before you, like, girl. No, no, sis. That's very much the energy. Very much the energy. So for her to paint this picture that I've had an anti-space for her, it's just you being frustrated with me not being a yes man, a yes person. That's your frustration. And it sounds like something you need to work out with your therapist. Because if people were speaking about me and they were critiquing me and they had an opinion about me, as long as it was thoughtful, I take it all. Long as you being thoughtful. This lady literally said I have been terrorizing her. Now, I ain't gonna lie, when she first started doing some stuff that I was side-eyeing and I thought it was some coon shit, I was in a different place. I was reading everybody. I was on the camera all the time, screaming and hollering and spitting at the camera. I was traumatized when they started hitting us with all them hot tracks with Trayvon Martin, Anthony Gray, and Breonna Taylor, and people just kept dying, and every time you look around, I had to start fasting. I had to stop celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving because I was so traumatized by how they kept throwing up all of this black death and murder, and how they was making us look at how the government was like. I was going through so much, and then, in the midst of all of this, her star is rising and she's prospering. And to me, it's looking like some of the stuff that she's doing is like, okay, how is you working with these people and these people are doing all this, and that? Like, that's where I wasn't conscious. This was real time. Like, I have grown, and she has been a star in the constellation that I've had, one of the stars that I've had to look towards for guidance on this internet. She has risen in a place of a star, and she is one of the stars that's guiding our community, whether you choose it or not. And as a person who likes to talk and to communicate, I'm going to give commentary on this experience. And if you don't feel like I'm always speaking in a flattering way about you, maybe that's something that you need to work out with yourself. Because I know that nothing that I say about you is to destroy you or to tear you down. It's to understand, why are you moving like this? Because we not finna pretend like her reach is not impacting future generations. So I just don't even understand why I shouldn't be able to talk about her. Yeah, to a certain extent, I'm obsessed with black people. Like, I ask myself this all the time. Like, if you watch my content, you will hear me talk about a lot of black people. And I do think that I spend a little bit too much time on black people. But when I stop talking about black people, people are gonna say that I'm selling out. People are gonna say that I'm a coon. People are gonna say, when I stop talking about black people. TS Madison is a feature amongst black trans people. She's one of the most prominent, most visible black trans people. So there's really not a lot of black trans people I can talk about. Being a black trans person myself, like, that's what we got. There are some black women who are obsessed with Beyonce. There are some black women who are obsessed with Janet Jackson. There are some black people who are obsessed with, like, black people tend to be obsessed with other black people. So this is what I got. This is what we got. This is what we got. So I don't get obsessed with. Yeah, I'm obsessed with this. You actually a fan and really like her, but hate her because of where she is in life. Move on. No, if that's what it was, I would honestly, like, you. This is my first time ever seeing you in the comment section, so I'm not gonna get upset about what you're saying, because you don't know me. Clearly, you don't. Because if you did, you talking outside of your ass right now. Like, I wouldn't even much be reading your comments if, if I was like, I would overlook your comments. Like, I would be like, I'm literally reading your comments out loud, because I want other people to hear in the playback your comment. Yeah. I am I am intrigued. I am fascinated. you know um I have a love-hate relationship with her, just like I have a love-hate relationship with science and medicine and the Matrix. And she pops up all over the place on my feed. Like, everybody who I follow, they have her in the comment section. So if I'm obsessed with her, it's because everybody else is. It's because everybody else is. If you want me to move on, tell everybody else to move on. I'll move on when the blogs move on. I will move on when AT Elliott move on, when Tasha K move on, when motherfucking the messy sweet spot move on. Bitch, I want to move on, bitch. But bitch, I can't get me a scoop of mess without her being on the plate, bitch. And then when they drag her, they drag all black trans people. And so, because I'm a vocal person and I have to interject and make sure that this don't become the narrative for all of us, I have to speak on it. And I'm not a type of person that's gonna have that's not going to divulge what inspired the thought of the conversation. Let me tell you something. When I get off this live right now, I don't go looking on her page. I don't watch her videos. I can't tell you what she talked about in her last video on her platform. I can't tell you what she talked about in the video for that before that. I can't tell you what TS Madison is talking about on her platform because I don't go on her page looking. And have I done it in the past? Yes, I have. Because after she won the Beyonce stuff and all that, I was following her. I was in the comment section. I've said that before. But then when she started when I got my dose and I was like, oh, okay, I had enough. I guess the ancestors was punishing me because they was like, oh, bitch, you want to go and sneak and check in. But see, I'm not no fake person. If I go and look at your content, you're going to know when I was there because I'm going to engage with your content. I'm not going to never go and look at your shit and not engage with your shit. So you will know when I've engaged with her shit because I will leave a comment. I will leave a heart emoji on her Instagram. Like when I supported her, I haven't just been stalking her page. I've literally clicked the heart. I've literally left comments. And then when she started doing a little bit, when it got a little bit too rich for my blood, I moved away. I feel the same way about her that I feel about science, though. I understand the necessity. But just like I vent and talk about science, just like I vent and talk about modern medicine and the things that's going on with medicine, I vent and talk about her. That is what we got right now. Name another black trans woman that's as visible as her that's always in some shit. Name another girl that's always being talked about by black females, by black gay men. Name another girl that's in the public so much, that's so visible, that black people are always speaking on her and using her as a reason to divide us. Name another black trans girl. I'll wait. And so if I am trying to participate in the healing of black indigenous people and us coming together collectively, how can I speak on Dr. Umar? How can I speak on Dane Calloway? How can I speak on 19 Keys? How can I speak on Sister Afuma? How can I speak on all of these righteous teachers and spiritual leaders if I am afraid to talk about my own community? What, what, that's what is that? Wait. Madison just did a live and she mentioned you. Go watch to see what she said. What is that? What specimen is you? A man, a woman? Is you a human? Where is the protect black women content? We moved on for that. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff. Girl, are you sure that you could be as a beautiful as TS Madison with your caveman ugly baby? I love these. Must be TS Madison. Oh, we baby, this is and this is why I talk about her. This is only proving my point of why it's necessary to have this conversation. Because I have not drugged this woman in this video. It's like it's a sin for me to say her name. It's a sin for it's everybody else. Like black females could drag her under the table. Gay men could drag her under the table. Black women could drag her under the table. But when I open my mouth and say something about her, all of y'all is mad. Make that make sense. Like I'm the one that's not dragging her. But because I don't sound like a fan in everything I say, it's like I'm not allowed to have an opinion about T.S. Madison But everybody else is. ATLians allowed to have an opinion. Justice Superstars allowed to have an opinion. So you can have an opinion as long as you're not black and trans. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? As long as I'm not a black trans woman or a black trans femme, I could talk, I could drag her, I could misgender her, I could talk about her body, I could say whatever I want to say. But because I'm a trans person, a black trans person, I should be quiet and let her get her bag in peace. I should know better, right? Y'all not making any sense. Y'all not making no sense. Make it make sense. Girl, you sure that you could have, yeah. Yeah, it's just not making any sense. It's not making any sense. Like if you go back and you watch what I said and you really honestly listen to the things that I've said and just consciously with a open mind and a open heart listen to what I'm saying and listen to the things that I'm saying, you will understand why I say the things that I'm saying. If it was another person in her spot and they were moving in the same way and I didn't understand it and certain things like everybody in the black community is talking about this woman. Everybody on the internet in the black community is talking about this woman. And none of y'all are saying nothing. Y'all are not being honest. Y'all just being quiet. And it's giving watch, crash, and burn to me. I appreciate the comments that people have made to me. I appreciate y'all saying how you feel about me. I appreciate you saying what you think of me in the comment section. I appreciate it. Iron sharpens iron. How can I be a better person? How can I move differently? How can I know what I need to work on if nobody is saying if nobody is giving me an opinion, if nobody's talking to me? How do I know what I'm doing? How do I know how to work on it? How do I critique myself? How do I pull my shit together if nobody's saying nothing? And so if I have to look like a hater, if I have to look like I'm obsessed, if I have to look like it's something wrong with me in order for people to let me know what's going on, help me to understand, because none of y'all are saying what y'all think. Y'all are just saying what y'all think of me. And it's okay for you to say what you think of me because I can't create an opportunity for you. It's easy to come on here and read me because I don't have any, I can't create an opportunity for you. I don't have those type of resources. What is going to cost you to read me? But all of this energy that y'all have for me, y'all are doing the same thing. Like it amazes me how y'all be saying, get out there and vote, get out there and vote, get out there and vote. But this human being is literally moving like a politician. And rather than y'all holding accountable the actual politician, y'all holding accountable the ones who have the courage to speak up about the politics. Because this affects us. This affects us. If I want to maneuver on a higher platform, if I want to maneuver in that big world, if I want to maneuver in spaces like the spaces she's maneuvered in, this is showing me who I have to become. And I'm listening to y'all in the comment section saying I look like a caveman, calling me ugly. Why? Because my teeth are crooked, because my hair is kinky, because my nose is wide, because I'm wearing bone earrings. So what y'all saying is, in order for me to be celebrated in mainstream, I have to look I have to change my look. I have to change my aesthetic. I have to get my nose fixed. I have to get my teeth fixed. I have to change my hair. I have to wear different jewelry. I have to look more European. That's what you're saying. Listen to yourselves, and you will understand why we don't have any representation of us that is not trying to force us to change and not trying to force us to assimilate. How you're treating me speaks to why what happened to George Floyd happened to George Floyd. Why what happened to Breonna Taylor happened to Breonna Taylor. Why women are being trafficked and stolen, Black women. All of this is happening to our people because of how y'all are talking about me, because I'm having the courage to speak up about anti-Blackness and anti-indigeneity that exists within our community. I have the courage to address it and to confront it. Respectfully. And everybody who's saying things about me in in the comment section that are derogatory, none of y'all have any face pictures. Like, you are literally lay LAEPW says MAFA needs to be institutionalized. She, he, it sounds quite unstable and nonsensical. Is this even a person of Ebenoid or Negro descent? Like, maybe these are Caucasian people, and I'm not trying to blame y'all Caucasians, but maybe these aren't even Negro people. Because if what I'm saying doesn't make sense, why are you listening? Why are you here? What does that say about you? What does that say about you that you came to watch the show? Yeah, and so yeah, sounds quite unstable and nonsensical. Kamala Lee, like look at all the people in the comment section. I'm gonna screenshot these. Yeah, I want to screenshot these because like Andre 3000 said, hate is free energy. Now, what I said about, like, I love this though, pure love. I love what you said though. Anyone with a modicum of common sense can understand what Kaneen is saying 100%. Wait. Yeah. So, yeah. I fasted before I did this live, so I haven't eaten today. I've only had a cup of herbal tea, and it is now 4:44. Oh, I want to screenshot that too. I missed that. Hold on. Yeah, I got it. It's 4:44. I've only had tea today. I was fasting because I wanted to make sure that I intentionally wanted to make sure that I didn't get ugly in this live. Like, that I did not get messy. I hate that TS Madison is at the center of so much stuff. Like, this lady literally just did an interview with Don Lemon, and it was about politics. Like, they're centering her, they're putting her at the center of everything. And then we're trying to be conscious and we're trying to have a conversation. We have to talk about the as above, so below. We have to talk about how the stuff that's going on with the politicians, that's going on in mainstream, it's also happening to us. And she got her Trump supporters in my comment section. I'm not Joe Biden though. Bitch, I'm not Joe Biden either. But she got her Trump supporters in my comment section. Cause she is, to me, she gives me Trump energy. Gives me very much. She act like she can't stand Donald Trump, but It's the same energy for me. Like her and Trump is just alike. And her Trump supporters is in my comment section. And it's just crazy because all I like, if you're saying that you're for community and you're saying that you're for the people and you're saying that you're doing all this because you want to be an example for the people. I mean, like, maybe I'm just not clear about what her intentions are. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I don't know what her intentions are. Maybe she just trying to get a bag, and hey, if they want to make her the mascot and they want to put her face on everything and make everything about her, can I blame her for getting her bag? Should I just be quiet and just let everybody continue to talk about her, and just mind my business, and just focus on me? It's like, I think I need to just get off the internet. Period. I think a lot of y'all would just be happier if I just put my head down and got a bag too. Now, if I actually do that, I'm gonna book the shit out of y'all. Cause don't say didn't nobody speak up. Don't say nobody never said nothing. My thing is, if you can't call out your own community, how can you call out other people? And y'all act like this the only woman I ever spoke on. Girl, I've did multiple videos about Hope Giselle. And she a sex change like me. So we can't say I'm just doing it to the pre-op girls. You can't tell that. You can't spew that narrative. Bitch, I've read Funky Dineva a multitude of times. A multitude. I've read Armand Wiggins a multitude of times. The only one that ever felt the need to respond was Madison. And that's why she gets it a little bit more. Because Armand ignored me. Hope Giselle ignores me. Girl, I don't even have 4,000 followers. Why are you entertaining me? Why are your people coming onto my live entertaining me, girl? Make it make sense. Anyway, jail. It's crazy. Like, y'all are not playing the whole tape. Y'all talking about I'm mentally unstable, but literally, I am always booking people. Like, I am always saying my opinion and saying what I think. It is her who entertains me, and she's supposed to be the fairest of them all. Like, so of course I'm gonna give it to her a little bit more than I give it to everybody else. Like, if another person had entertained me and had sent me and had read me with the vitriol that she read me with, talking about my teeth and my nuts folded up inside of me, child, I was already talking about her before she was saying my name. Ma'am, you've talked about me twice this year. What did you think I was gonna give? Literally, and when she was talking about me, my views. Like, why are you so concerned about what I'm saying about you when literally, not until recently, the only, like, now there's more people because they came to find me after you drugged me. But all the videos that I have done about you over the years, they've never gotten any traction. Like, they was never getting any views. Like, I wasn't getting any YouTube checks off you. Like, I wasn't making any money. So why did you feel the need to respond to anything that I've ever said? I could understand that I would, if I was going getting on major platforms, or if people was handing me the mic at venues and public venues and stuff, and when people paying me the mic, I'm like, because you know TS Madison, I'm on my own personal platform that is a therapeutic space for me, talking about my problems to about 50, 60, maybe 100 people, maybe 200 people sometimes. Talking about my problems, my perspective to a handful of people on this here internet. And now I'm the bad guy? Now I'm the villain. Okay, I'll be that. Sure. I could understand if I was Funky Dineva, or if I was Unmind Wiggins, or if I had that type, if I was an ATL and I was a Tasha K. I could understand if I had that type of platform talking about her. The stuff that I'm saying must hold some validity. That's the only thing I can see is a hit dog hollering. So y'all look like clowns and idiots in my comment section defending her when I haven't had 20 people on this live. Y'all coming here to entertain me. You're the ones who are mentally unstable, bitch. Coming to entertain somebody who on their personal life ain't earning no motherfucking money. Just talking about how they see the world and how they see society, and you feel the need to come and defend and to come, bitch, you look stupid. You look stupid for entertaining it. I'm on here exercising my freedom of speech, and you're trying to bully me out of talking about her. Y'all look stupid. If we gonna keep it all the way a bean. You look stupid coming over here behind her. Unstable and toxic, right? You look stupid coming over here behind her. You look like complete idiots coming over here to someone's personal page who is not even a public figure, who is just sitting on the internet expressing concerns and venting and talking about their struggle being a part of the community and talking about it because they always have to be. This woman is always in our face. We always hearing about some mess this woman in. We always hearing about some drama this woman in. And how they see that woman impacts all of us. And so, because I'm black and trans, I don't have the right to be able to sit on my personal platform and talk about her in a respectful way. To be able to express my concerns, my challenges, my struggle in a respectful and tactful way. But I'm mentally unstable. But you messy bitches coming on my platform to defend this woman who has 238,000 subscribers. This woman is getting adoration and love. This woman is getting accolade from RuPaul and from Beyonce. This woman is getting all of this, and she needs you to come on to my page to shut me up. But I'm mentally unstable. You're coming on my page to shut me up. If that is not a dictatorship, if this is not some Trump supporter shit, it's giving Trump supporter. It's giving MAGA. It's giving MAGA. like they're like they're a good judge of normal. Let's misgender another lady. Yeah, let's misgender another lady because you don't agree. Right. Her whole behind is all over the internet in the most derogatory way, and she's worried about what you got to say. Clown. Right. Everybody and they mammy dragging this girl with actual platforms that's getting 10 and 11,000 views, 20 and 30,000 views, 50 and 60,000 views. It's people talking about this woman. It's got 102 and 300,000 views. And I get on here with my little bitty platform. And you pressed? But I'm crazy. Well, I got to be more powerful than I realized, fam. I'm that powerful? Bitch, I'm that powerful? They be pressed like a panini. Ooh, some Libras don't like to be held accountable. This is true. This is real. This is true. This is true. This is true. Thank you, sister. I mean, my goodness. Girl, we be over here having our little intimate meet. We be over here having our little intimate lives, our little intimate meetings, girl. Miss Thing, I don't even much be promoting my stuff. Like when she first came out, what she said, hey Facebook, hey Instagram, hey Christian Mingle. She was motherfucking sharing her social media to all of these different platforms. I'm never on Twitter. I don't have a TikTok. I don't post as much as I used to on Facebook anymore. All of the other new stuff they got, I don't know nothing about. I post for my family on Facebook. I post on Instagram and I post on YouTube. 3 platforms. That's where my content is. Where's the threat, sis? I'm not that invested. Press like a panini, bitch. Like a panini. Girl, I'm trying to understand. And I guess it's because no Christian Mingle. Not yeah. I mean, she have reach all over the cybersphere. This lady got reach all over the cybersphere. And you concerned about little things that I say, you focused on what I say. It's got you pressed like that. And go back and review every video that I've ever did about her. Go back and review everything that you've ever heard me say. You'll never hear me read her about her weight. You've never heard me read her about the seal in her body. You've never heard me read her about you like I have critiques on. The only time I speak on her is when I feel like she's putting other people down to make herself more than what she is. That's the only time. That's the only time. I've never came for her aesthetic, but all of her minions in my comment section coming from my aesthetic. I've never came for her aesthetic. I did on this album, on this diss track that I put out, after she talked about my nuts being folded up inside of my pussy, after she talked about my crooked teeth. after she did that. Now I have made comments. But if you go back and you watch the old videos, all of it was just critique. All of it was just, hey, oops. That's what it was. Because and I have to verbalize it because I don't want black women and black men and people in general to think that we all think the same way on this internet. Cause I don't think like that. And the standard that she's setting, calling herself a nigga and misgendering herself, you're not gonna be able to do that over here. It's unacceptable. I done went through too much. No fat. So I have to differentiate. And it's not because I got a pussy. It's because that's just how I carry myself. It's not because I have a vagina, excuse me. My sister Claudette told me to stop using certain words, and I'm really working on it, Claudette. You see me, sister. I corrected myself. I should get another thumbs up for that. Y'all should make it 20 now. Because I'm correcting myself. My sister told me to stop saying the word titties and to say breast. And she said to stop saying pussy. She said to say whole, opening, sacred space. Use other words, but don't say pussy and titties. It's very derogatory and it makes people feel like animals. So I am working. My sister got in my inbox and my sister was like, hey, we're not going to be, we're going to step it up. It's giving Butch Queen in a silicone bodysuit. Ooh, we 100%. We. Ooh, we. Exactly. I have nieces and nephews and a sister, and I don't want them to depict us all like that. Right. What's wrong with Titty, though? Oh, wait. And this lady said, you still ain't left that kitchen. How many backgrounds have y'all seen me in the past 30 days? How many backdrops you to see me in? You still ain't left that kitchen yet. Uh, um, I can see that. I suppose, yeah. So I'm working on it. It works if you work it. Yeah, everybody was complimenting me on my earrings today. You know, I made these. How many backgrounds she got? Oh. I'm not about to do this. Child, I have not ate yet. I am hungry. I have not ate yet today. She feeds into the narrative of war and division amidst brown skin, masculines and feminines. She left the basement and is acting brand new. And I think because I provide a platform for the community to come and express their concerns about her in a way, like because I create that space to talk about that. Because baby, this is literally our avatar. Like when we are reviewing, when we are reviewing American history, Miss Thing is going to be a prominent figure, and my platform is the critique to that. This narrative that she's trying to depict, that she was just so loved and celebrated by all, but a shift is happening. We may not be the same nation. We were born in the time of a shift. America might not be America in 10 years. It might not be a fake republic in 10 years. Everything is shifting, everything is changing. We don't know what type of war about to break out and what type of shift is about to happen. And these conversations that we having now are speaking to that shift. And we have to be responsible of those of us who are consuming this content. And we have the common sense to be able to critique and to be able to speak to things that we feel can be made, that can be worked on and improved or expanded upon. We have a responsibility as consumers to speak about it. If you don't want me to talk on you, why are you everywhere? If you don't want me to speak about you, if you want me to keep your name out of my mouth, why are you everywhere? Why are you on everybody's blogs? Why are you on everybody's platform? Make that make sense. Sit down for a little while. Take you a little rest. Go do you some self-care. Because I know I am. I know I do. Yeah. Right. She literally profits off confusion and perversion. Not for those of us who know the truth. Yes, yes, yes. Speak on it. The history books about to be insane in 100 years. Mm, Ill-gotten gains. Folks don't get that in our community. Folks don't get that our community is multifaceted, right? We don't all think the same. And that needs to show. Like, ma'am, your word is not gonna stand alone. You're not gonna be the sole voice of black trans people. And if I'm only talking to 5 people, I'm gonna talk to 5 people. I love Laverne Cox to death, but we don't really see her. We see her as black, but we see her as like Don Lemon black. I love her, but we see her as like Don Lemon black. That's not hate, that's the truth. I love Angelica Ross, but Angelica don't really be on YouTube like that. Angelica posts on Instagram and keep it pushing. She don't be in these YouTube streets like that. She'll give you a little numb your whole Rangekyo and keep it pushing. Hope don't be in these YouTube streets like that either. She gonna give you a little 1-2 on Instagram. Let you see her man. Show you her body in a Beyonce outfit. Say something about the Black Caucus. And she gonna keep it pushing. That's what we got. That's what we got. Who else is it to talk about? Flame Monroe? That's old school. Flame Monroe on some, this a costume and I'm dressing up and she get the check and he cashed the check. And when I'm trying to reach across the aisle to talk to people, I don't want, because this is the first thing people talk, because see, I don't just be in the trans community. Like on live, I talk about trans issues a lot, but in real life, I be around a lot of heterosexual cis people. And they like to use people like TS Madison to say this is how we all are. I don't live in the LGBT community. I don't live in the gay community. I'm not denying my tithes. I don't think that I'm too good. I don't think that I'm better than, but I don't live in that community. I don't live in the LGBT community. That's not my base. But because I never deny it, because I'm not ashamed of it, when they get ready to come at me with these questions and they get ready to say all of this stuff, because they know TS Madison, because a lot of them follow her, a lot of them because she's the most visible. They think that they could talk to you and they think that they can handle you and they think that they can engage with you in the same way that they engage with her, which creates the need for dialogue on my platform. So if it sounds like I'm obsessed, there's the breakdown. Y'all, society centered that. Y'all centered that. And because I'm a person who believes in talking about community and the things that impact me, I got to talk about that. Give me something else to talk about, please. Yeah, you know Laverne about to get on there and sing opera and talk about her talk about her fashions. Talk about her vintage fashions, honey. Laverne gonna talk about her vintage fashions, honey. This is the Mugler. Laverne, that's a Laverne give it. Laverne gonna talk about her vintage fashions, and Laverne gonna say, that bitch say crying in a swimsuit. Girl, when she stood in front of that van, girl, when she stood in front of that van, girl, crying in that swimsuit, girl. Nah, one thing you can't be mad at, Mel. One thing you can't be mad at, Mel, is Miss Baby got some discipline. Miss Baby got some discipline, huh? Because, baby, she in her 50s and she have held it together. Laverne look good. You can't take that from her. The bitch is stunning. The bitch is breathtaking. The bitch is gorgeous. Instinct got better with age. You can't take that from her. But any moment, any moment that woman can choose to give you. Girl, that motherfucking Laverne, baby. And baby, Hope Giselle is bitch, that's Beyonce Jr., bitch. That's Beyonce Jr. right there, baby. She love Beyonce, baby. Like she's like, bitch, I'm trying to get my Madison moment. I ain't mad at Hope, baby. Hope, go for your moment, baby. Hope, go for your moment. But I think the most authentic one is is Angelica, but Angelica can be real soundbitey, you know. And this is where I connect with TS Madison. Now watch, people lock in on the negative. This is where I relate to TS Madison. This is where I connect with TS Madison. And I think this is why I am obsessed with talking about her. Because how many other black trans women you know that will go live and just lay it all out on the table? Name some black trans women who have a major platform who put out things that are not pre-prepared. We didn't prepare this. We just finna go live and talk. So you could, so if we do say some crazy stuff, if we do, we can edit it out. Like, that's what I respect about her. A lot of times she step in dookie, and we talk about that too. But she's literally right, and Samantha James is gone. And she was beefing with her too. A lot of us are very scripted. We're very strategic about how we share and what we're going to talk about because we don't want people to see our biases and how we really think and how we really feel about things. And to me, that's a part of the problem. Because the only way we can heal collectively is if we're willing to talk about those things publicly. I remember Diamond Styles told me that when I first started going live on Facebook, she said she wanted to wait. She said she commended me for having the courage to go live, but she was worried about how that would follow me. And she said she wanted to wait before she started going live because she wanted to be more prepared before she started to speak in front of the camera. But she actually commended me for having the courage to just put it all out there and just to go live and just say whatever came out of my mouth, not being scripted. And I stepped in dookie quite a few times myself. I've said a lot of inappropriate things. She wasn't beefing with Samantha James. She was threatened by Samantha James. That's why she didn't forgive Samantha James when she tried to apologize to her. Oh. But you know, this is what I've noticed about TS Madison, and I legitimately, and I said this in another video, I thought that when I went and supported her at her show, I thought that when she said what she said about me in a video she said earlier this year, she said that me and her could be she said that me and her she think me and her could have been sisters in a past life. But she says she's been holding in her feelings, and now I know how she feels about me. She feels that I'm mentally retarded. She feels she don't like my teeth, and she don't respect me for having a sex change. Like, that's how, those are the feelings that she's been harboring about me. And anything that she will say after that, now you've already told me how you really feel. You've already told me what you really think of me. You know, um, I'm not gonna go and watch to see what she said about me this time because I don't care. You know, I'm at this point. I don't I don't think that there's anything that she could say to me or about me. Like if she was to apologize or she to say something thoughtful, then girl, you don't have to apologize to me on a live video. You could come in my comment section like you did the last time when you said, "Oh, you still in your kitchen," or you still like. If you wanna say something thoughtful, my comment section is open, boo, on my Facebook, my Instagram, and my YouTube. So you know, her commentary about me is not important because I know my intentions. My intentions is not to destroy her, it's not to attack her, it's merely to play the whole tape. She's already said how she feel about me. She's already said what she thought about me. And I agree. I think that's why she did not. If we look at how she's ran her platform over the past few years, look at the girls that she's actually let sit with her. She let Cherry sit with her, I think, like one time. Um, she have Funky Dineva and Sophia, and she have girls like that, that sit around her. Like she haven't had no tea, no shade. Like, cause I'm not saying that physical aesthetics make you a girl, but what I'm saying is she's never had a girl like her to sit with her on a regular basis. She may have a girl to come do a cameo, but the girls don't sit with her. They don't sit with her. And that's been strategically done. That's been purposely done. That's by design. A girl that's gonna take attention off you constantly. A girl that's gonna make you feel like the sidekick. Sometimes you gonna be the sidekick. No, not on her watch. Not on her watch. You could tell by how she move, how she feel about allegiances with the girls. And so, in a lot of ways, I'm the anti-Madison because I'm the opposite in so many ways. In so many ways. So I get it, and I don't understand why, like she was threatened by her, and Cookie Tookie was intelligent. I mean, Cookie Tookie was talented. Cookie Tookie was funny. Cookie Tookie was smart when she wanted to be, bodied out, but this world was just too poisonous. Like, the world is poisonous, and when people don't have the kind of support they need, and you all the time, people don't need money. People don't always need a coin. Sometimes people need for you to check in on them. Sometimes people need for you to create opportunities for them. Like, people need for you to gather around them and love on them. So money is cute, resources is cute, but sometimes people just need for you to stop what you're doing and to check in on them, and to show up and to just create that community and be that village for them. Mm, you unfollowed too much negativity. I met Diamond once. She was so dismissive and fake to me, and I was a fan, being gracious at an event she carried. I unfollowed the channel. Too much negativity. You talking about Maddie? Bunch of fiends and fans. OMG, I said this. Yeah, yeah. It's you could. I mean, like, she tell on herself. Like, name beautiful trans girls that have been frequent, beautiful trans girls who live in the trans form, who have transitioned, who have physically changed themselves, and show up like Madison, that you always see her with. Name them. When she taking pictures, you always see her with them. They always on her Instagram. They always on her Facebook. They always, like, these her Ace Boon Coons. These her girls. She love them. Name them. Now go and look at Donald Trump page. See how many wealthy white men you see him taking pictures with. Many wealthy white men you see him buddy buddy with, sharing the spotlight with. See, this is bigger than Nino Brown. This shit bigger than Nino Brown. Not the soft, moisturized, well-spoken, educated girls. Absolutely not. She'll let Hope come on every now and then. She'll give Hope. She'll give Hope up. She'll let Hope come on and do, but when Hope talk, it better be in alignment with what she's saying. If you speak on genuine issues, you're the villain, pretty much. You can't be a girl's girl and be a bitter butch queen at the same time. Oh my, her demons got her. Yeah, yeah. You talking about Cookie Tookie? She couldn't take Amaya Scott. Mmm. Somehow that don't surprise me. Hey Fatima, love you. She hang out with she hang out with them from a distance. She hang out with them from a distance. Right. Um and it's it's nothing wrong with all that. If that's who she is, that's who she is. You know, if that's who she is, that's who she is. But if you think we're not allowed to talk on it, then you trying to have a dictatorship pool. You welcome. You trying to have a dictatorship pool. You trying to have a dictatorship, and that's not how we rocking. That's not what we about to do. Not at all. We not doing that at all. We not doing it at all. Not at all. Not at all. Let me get my candle. Hold on. I wanted to play my song in this live, but since I already released it, they might clock me and work this video. So I'm not gonna do that. Ooh, where's my lighter? I'm gonna light 3 candles. She said I was a voodoo bitch. And that's why I chose the picture of me looking like a voodoo queen to put on the cover of the CD that I said booking TS Mammy, the song. That's why I chose that image because she called me a voodoo queen in her life. I am not a voodoo queen. I practice my own spirituality, which is called Lay Lim Lay Lur. Let him, let her. I am whole. I have studied voodoo. I have studied witchcraft. I have studied different forms of mythology. I've, of course, obviously studied the Christian religion. I practiced Buddhism for a brief time. That wasn't really for me. I do like spirituality that calls for some form of worship. I do like to worship things, but I like to worship my ancestors. I like to honor the elements. I like to honor nature. I like to honor both the masculine and feminine principles. I like to I like to incorporate all that into my worship, and I want to be really meticulous and thoughtful and articulate about expressing that. Um this is a video I want to share this now before I get ready to leave off the live. Um I thought about so the 3 candles are lit. But I thought about what Funky Dineva said about, and I might get a little emotional, so y'all bear with me on this. When Funky Dineva said what he said about Miss Netta, said what he said about Miss Netta boyfriend, like with his slow ass. Like, it bothers me when I look at black people who jokingly belittle black people. Like, Charles have never said anything about Funky Dineva, I'm sure. And so for Funky Dineva to be sitting where he's sitting, to have the money that he has, to have the access that he has, to have the resources that he has, and for it to be from the way that he talks, the way that he belittles people, like the way that he talks down on people, not just black women, because it's not just black women. You have to listen to him. And the re and it always puzzles me when I see someone that looks like Funky Dineva talking down on someone, because we know that this is nothing but your trauma playing out, and now you have the resources to be heard. But the reason why you speak down on people is because people have spoken down on you. You're dark skinned, you have your face, the way your face is set up. I don't think that Funky Dineva is ugly, but I think that there are a lot of people who do think that Funky Dineva is ugly. I think that there are a lot of people who think that Funky Dineva is unattractive. And Funky Dineva didn't have money at one time. We've heard the stories from ATL, and we've heard how Funky Dineva used to get down. And so now Funky Dineva in this space of, I'm this now, I can speak on this. I don't understand why we as black people, we can't just get wealth and accomplish things, and not feel like we have to put other people down, like not feel like we have to subject people to that same trauma that we were subjected to. And I could only hope that if the ancestors ever see it in their divine will, if the creator, the mother, father, God, goddess ever see it in their divine will to give me an abundance of wealth, and to make my finances soar, and to just to bless me with a whole bunch of money, I just hope and pray. I don't want to be like that. And there's so many examples of it. And you see, and then they say, why don't people be saying, why you don't want more? We want to see you become this, we want to see you become that, we want to see you. I don't want to see that. I don't want to look down my nose at people. I don't want to think I'm better than someone because I have resources, and because I have access, and because I have privilege. I don't want that. I don't want that narrative. I would like the wealth. I would like the resources, and I would like to be able to help people. But I pray on my knees that my head doesn't get bigger than my motherfucking ass. So the reason why that hit me so hard was because my boyfriend was on the spectrum. My husband, who I was married to, was on the spectrum. And today, our song came on, and I haven't been able to listen to the song. And the song was, they hate our love, want to see us fall. They want to see us fall. They hate our love. They want to see us fall. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that song, but this one of the last times we was together. You hear me calling him Pama? That mean Papa Mama.
You know how to transport? You knew that song. What transport means? No. You don't get to change the subject, Papa. Pama.
He's trying to pretend like he don't know what I'm talking about.
No. You don't get to do that. I was talking about transport. Yeah. No. You know what you do. Stop fucking playing with me. That's how you do it. Not gonna fight with That's you. How you do it. Not gonna argue with you. I know now. You showed me when you walked on the other side where the song was on. You don't know what the fuck was. Yeah. You my soul. And if you don't stay with me,
y'all almost saw that titty.
I wonder if I should be okay.
Let me screen it. Make sure y'all don't see a titty. Hold on. I can't wait another minute for your love.
But I can't believe I'm wasting your time. Oh no. So tell me what to do.
Look how he looking at me.
I can't wait another minute. I can't wait another minute.
My baby, I miss him. When I was watching this last night, I was crying. Like I came back and the thing was like beeping in my suitcase because I left it here. And it was beeping in my suitcase. Like this is literally like one of our last memories together. And it was beeping in my suitcase. And like I remember, like me and him, we had been going through a rough patch. We had literally been going through a rough patch. I know, right, Fatima? We was going through like a rough patch, and it's like the universe will show you when things are happening and when things is about to happen, because we when we first got together, we was having sex all the time. Like we was having sex like cats and dogs. Like we was, whew, if it was 21 days, we fucked every day. And I wasn't really like a person who liked having anal sex, but his penis was too big for his vagina. We still did vaginal. He always got me off first. Like he used to service the girl. Like he'll lick the spot and beat the spot up, and then I'll turn over and give him some cookies because I was so happy. Like I really don't like letting dudes play in the trash can, but I used to let him play in the trash can because maybe I was satisfied. It's like you satisfy me, I would satisfy you. So we had stopped having sex because we was going through a rough patch because of everything that was going on with the probation. So right before he OD'd, he came over to the house, and I didn't believe in celebrating the holidays, but he did. So I would celebrate the holidays for him. I celebrated Christmas for him. I celebrated Thanksgiving for him, not the day of, the day before, or the day after. Thank you. I celebrated I celebrated the holidays with um Thanksgiving. I think we celebrated it like the day before. And I think Christmas we celebrated it like the day before. Like Halloween, that was one that I celebrated that day because I call that Ancestors Day. But all of the holidays, he'll be excited about them. So like we celebrated them together, and and when he came back over after we had been arguing, he stayed for like 2 weeks. This was like right before he left me, and I never saw him again. Um, we was it was like we had it was like when we just met each other. It was like when we first met each other. We was like cats and dogs. We was we was hopping. We was whoa. It was the magic was back. The fire was back. I will always love him. I will always love him. He will always be with me. I'm slimming down, and one of the reasons why I'm slimming down is because I use these, and these was his weights. And when I slim down and I get to the size that I want to be, and I lose this weight, it is going to be in memory of him. I have paintings that he painted on my wall. Me and him like to create art together. I carry him in my spirit. I love him so much, and I'm never gonna forget him. He changed my life, and I will never be the same. I have a different respect for people who are on the spectrum, people who process information differently. I would never make fun of someone's mental health. I would never make fun of someone's mental stabilities. I would never take slight of someone's mental stabilities. Now, if I think you just being an asshole, I will say that sounds stupid or that sounds dumb. I will say shit like that. I'm gonna keep it on. I'm gonna keep it real. But if I know that you process information differently than me, and you sincerely asking a question, you sincerely trying to understand, and I know that your intentions, I know that you had good intentions, I know that you had pure intentions. I would never make fun of someone's mental health. I would never, and it's because of him. He changed me in a short amount of time. He opened my eyes to so much. I am more than your small mind could ever comprehend. That's what I am. Someone in the comment section, for people who won't see this, said, "What the fuck even are you?" I love that that's how you had to speak about me. I am an enigma, bitch. Bitch, I am the missing link, ho. Bitch, I am an anomaly. I am an anomaly, bitch. Bitch, I am a phenomenon, bitch. We only come once every 50 to 100 years, ho. So get into it, bitch. let me let me let me blow out these candles. So I have 3 candles lit, acknowledging past, present, and future. And they are the true Trinity. As I blow out these candles on the physical plane, they grow with a fervent intensity on the spiritual plane, preparing us for times that are now. As above, so below. As within, so without. As above, so below. As within, so without. As above, so below. As within, so without. Thank you, God, Goddess, a man, a woman, lelim, leler. Down but anan that I say cool, it keeps spinning and turning Ian Gani, Iyanko, Kalukalo, which means I am a child of God, Goddess. And if I am, you know you are. Bound and round, both circle and square. We too speak life, so operations beware. Sending healing to those in despair. Il Babosawa. We come in peace, no harm to any. Le lim, le le. Oh, look at this one. Stubborn, huh? And that's the protection candle. Love y'all. Be well, and until next time, take care.